ShapeNet is a large library of models curated by Stanford and used in AI and virtual robotics training and research. Since its creation in 2015, it's been cited in over 900 papers. We created a ShapeNet plugin for Isaac version of Graphene. One of the problems with ShapeNet models is this scene here has tables and chairs and cups from it. Some of the models are poor quality. This chair here, for example, is 230 megabytes. So this scene with just default ShapeNet models runs at about 8 frames a second. So having a place, one of the reasons for this plugin is to have a place to store curated models as USD files and create them from the original ShapeNet models. So how do we use the omni.isaac.shapenet plugin? Well, first of all, make sure it's loaded. Then what you want to do is let's load in a base model. We'll have a virtual home here. This one is an environment from the project, the virtual home project. We're going to go ahead and add some ShapeNet models to it. I'll show you 2 ways to do that. All right. So maybe we go to the bedroom here. You can use the menu for ShapeNet. Just go to the settings. I happen to know which model I want to load. I'm going to add a bookshelf. You add the synset ID and model ID. The synset ID actually corresponds to what is it? ImageNet and WordNet categories. So it works with other types of research. I'm going to roughly place it in this room, and then we'll go ahead and move it around so that it fits nicely into the scene. Alright, so once I've got my settings set, I go to add shape from settings. And we have a cabinet. If you didn't know the name of it, we could go out here to with printout and it would show you what the name of it was and what its synset ID and everything is. Alright, sticking out of the wall, which is wrong, so we'll go ahead and move that around. I think we are at 180 minus 90. Yeah, too small. So you could take these settings and move them to the Python session and place objects around the scene in the same area. So anyway, that is loading up a single ShapeNet model by hand. You can also do what would normally be done, I think, for most researchers, is go ahead and load them with the Python script. So here's a scene in a kitchen. There's no tables and chairs here for anybody to sit on yet. We're going to have a lot of guests here, so let's go ahead and first off, cooking in the holidays, maybe we need a few more stoves, so we'll load in some cooking stoves over here from camping cooking stoves, and then as you see the commands over on the right side here. It's a simple plugin that you just have to include, and it communicates via HTTP to Kit and tells it what models to load, their positions, and what IDs you want. So let's start loading in some chairs here. Let's see how that's working. Yeah, ShapeNet added the chairs. Oh, I just haven't turned around and looked at them. There they are. Not all guests want to sit in the kitchen, so let's add some comfy egg type chairs in the background there, and some more throwing chairs for the fancy kids, some tiki chairs. Where did my tiki chairs go? Did I even add them? You can go in here and check. I didn't add the tiki chairs yet. Run that script. Add the tiki chairs. Now we're going to have to add some tables, folding tables, a diamond-studded table for the thrones, maybe a fancy table for those tiki chairs. So we've loaded in a whole bunch of ShapeNet models. You can see now that we're running at a much more respectable 30 to 40 frames a second. with the same, relatively the same models as we had before in the beginning. These are curated models, so these chairs are about 12 megabytes. And if the curated models are an Omniverse, or you have the original OBJ files for them, if you've edited them with OBJ, it'll look for those and load those instead of the heavyweight models. And that pretty much sums it up. That is our ShapeNet plugin. Enjoy. Whoops, not so fast. I forgot to go ahead and add back in the cups. So maybe you would have a script that wants to add a whole bunch of cups for all your guests. So we'll pick out a ShapeNet model for that and start adding them to the table. Obviously you could add them anywhere in the scene you wanted, but we're still at 30 or 40 frames a second, so it wasn't the cups that were killing us before, it was the non-curated models. All right, thank you.